The film which you are about to see is an account of the tragedy which befell an adventurous college student in Alabama. Originally from Austin, Texas, 21-year-old Trever Col was actually not your typical college student attending Perdue University in Lafayette, Indiana. Though rather, he absolutely loved going on adventures where most would likely be too afraid to go. And well, because of this, he decided to join the university's outing club in order to meet like-minded peers that he could also go on said adventures with. And well, on Friday, November 22nd, 2019, Trever, along with 4 other students, decided it would be a good idea to go spelunking without telling the university. And what better place to go, they thought to themselves? Why, no other than the infamous Valhalla cave preserve. Now, if you're a regular on this channel, then this cave might sound a little familiar. And well, unfortunately, that is because this is just one of many deaths that have all taken place at Valhalla. The system itself, if you have yet to see my last video on the murderer's cave, it's a single system pit cave with a 227 foot or 69 meter entrance, with the system itself stretching about a mile or 1.6 kilometers into the earth. So since you can't get lost or have to squeeze through any tight corridors, it's not the most dangerous, though because there are massive sheer drops and free falls to the bottom is why it has such a reoccurrence on this channel. Which now brings us back to our tragic story. The 5 friends began their 9-hour drive south from Perdue University to Valhalla, which was located about 15 minutes west of Birmingham, Alabama. As they made it to the cave preserve, they immediately decided to start hiking in order to get closer to the caves. Though since it was already pretty late by this time, they just decided to set up camp instead for the night. And even though they were all pretty excited for the adventure ahead, they all immediately fell asleep pretty fast due to the exhaustion of the entire trip. The next day, on Saturday, November 23rd, the friends made sure to wake up extra early in order to conquer the cave as fast as possible. So they all started hiking closer to Valhalla around 5 a.m. As soon as they got to the cave, they made sure to get the proper permits from the Southeastern Cave Conservation. That way they weren't considered trespassers and could rappel in peace. All 5 friends were experienced cavers and experienced climbers. So before they got started, they made sure everyone was equipped and ready to go. And with this not being anyone's first rodeo, they were all excited and confidence was at an all-time high. As the first friend descended down, everything was perfect and he was able to enjoy himself and take in all the sights that this beautiful pit cave had to offer, even making sure to take his time in order not to miss anything. And next up was Trever. He was excited, and with everything going right and him having everything he needed, he was ready and he started to descend down. Though about 40 feet or 12.19 meters into his rappel, Trever encountered a knot where 2 pieces of rope were tied together, which is actually a very common practice in rappelling that only requires the person rappelling to stop and remove a piece of equipment known as a rack from the rope and place it below the knot in order to continue rappelling down. Well, whenever Trever made it to the knot in his descent, he was able to successfully reattach the rack to the rope, though unfortunately, he didn't realize the rack was no longer reattached to his harness. As soon as Trever continued his rappel, he instantly felt that he wasn't attached anymore. He would then end up falling about 200 feet or 70 meters to the cave floor, where he would sadly die immediately upon impact. Meanwhile, after their initial shock, his other 4 friends decided one of them would stay with him while the other 3 raced as fast as possible to the nearest town in order to call 911. Though unfortunately, because of the unpaved country back roads and forests, it took them longer than expected before they were actually able to call for help, which eventually was called at exactly 8:30 a.m. They then raced back to see if there was anything that they could do, as they weren't completely sure if Trever was yet passed away or not. Cave rescuers would then come from Huntsville, Alabama and Chattanooga, Tennessee in order to come help. And luckily, since Valhalla Cave isn't a very complex cave system, they were shortly then able to extract Trever's body from the cave at exactly 12:30 p.m. Trever Col was a mechanical engineering major who truly loved to live life to the fullest, though unfortunately for our friend, Valhalla Cave would be his final resting place. Let me know in the comments what would you have done if you were rappelling with your friend, and out of nowhere, they just tragically fell 200 feet or 70 meters to the floor, and there was nothing that you could absolutely do about it. And once again, thank you for watching. Remember to hit the like and subscribe button and turn on the notification bell for more content in the future. Goodbye for now.